the daily wake up. Visualize your future, behave in ways needed to create your future, execute your new behaviors to fulfill your mission. We are mission chasers. Good morning, gentlemen. This is John Vickers, owner of Explosive Performance Academy and creator of the Courageous Men program. We help men become the most elite versions of themselves while focusing on fitness, faith, family, and finances. Now, today's episode is about trying to be perfect. Trying to be perfect. And what being perfect does for your ability to actually go out and do things, create, build wealth, build impact. Just be a person that separates yourself from everybody else. So there was a point, like I remember this, right? Like this is one thing that I remember doing with my wife, and I 100% regret it. So when we first got married, like before we got married, we were living together, and like things were amazing, right? They were amazing. We got married, things were still amazing. Then I changed. I became different. I became less fun. I remember she wanted a kid. She wanted a baby. I wanted kids too, but she wanted a baby. We were living in an apartment, and I said no. Like we're not having a baby. We ended up getting a puppy. So we got a puppy together, Baxter, Baxter's still alive, our little wiener dog, little stinky wiener dog. He actually pretty much smells like poop anytime he opens his mouth. But I remember, so Baxter was a replacement for the baby at the time. And when I look back at this, like, absolutely love Baxter, right? But I said no to a baby at the time because I wasn't ready. I didn't feel like I was in the right place, or we were in the right place as a couple, because at the time we were living in an apartment. We had no money to put down for a house. We weren't really making a whole lot. I was working at a job that where I made $30,000 a year, which at the time it was cool. Like I could do what I wanted at that time, but we were also single. Well, not single. We were also, it was just Megan and I. So our money, and we had some help with our apartment too. Like we weren't paying for our apartment. My mother-in-law was paying for it. So that was going on. I wasn't ready. We got Baxter, and then pretty much 9 months later, we have McKenna. But I remember Megan saying that she wanted a baby, and I said no. Like I'm not ready. It's not the right time. It's not the perfect time. And for me, when I look back at that, like I lost a little trust with her, because I didn't take on the role of the masculine man, and I wasn't like prepared for this. I was saying no. She was ready, but I was saying no. So I thought that there had to be this perfect time. Like everything had to be perfect. I had to make this much money, had to be in this house, this and that. Like I said no. Now we ended up having McKenna, but moving forward, like there were a couple issues, couple things that we went through. We had a big fight one time when she was pregnant with McKenna, and like it was bad. It was not a good fight. Not a good fight. No fight's ever a good fight, but this was a bad fight. After that though, like there was a point where I kind of started taking some chances and taking some opportunities, even though things like weren't perfect at the time. And if I had waited for that perfect time, things wouldn't have happened. And I don't know how things would have looked had I waited a little bit longer with some things. But I think I've mentioned this story, but if you haven't heard it before, I actually quit my job, my salary job, where I was making $30,000 a year, which at the time was fine for me. Now, fuck that, like that's not shit. And I had health insurance. I quit that a week after McKenna was born. A week after McKenna was born. I had nothing lined up, not a thing. And then I get sued. I get sued by the owner of my old company because I took some athletes with me that were long-term athletes of mine anyway, way before he even came around, but he ended up suing me. So I had to pay him money. I think I had to pay him like $2,500 for these athletes, which looking back, like I made that back in the year with these athletes. But it was wild because I started taking these chances after I wasn't ready for having McKenna, where I did things, but I almost did it too reactive. Like I could just take this podcast and turn it into multiple podcasts because of all the things that had happened. But what I'm trying to say is that there's never going to be a perfect time for you to take a leap of faith. There's never going to be a perfect time for you to make a decision that could be life-altering. It's a leap of faith, right? It's you trusting God. It's you jumping, reaching out, hoping for God to grab your hand to help guide you through this. And look, this was over 11 years ago now. This was 11 and a half years ago now for me. And I'm still here. I'm still here. Not everything has gone the way that I wanted it to go, but I'm still here. So what I'm telling you is I'm telling you to stop waiting for things to be perfect, because there's never going to be a perfect time for you to do something. Yes, you can be way more prepared than I was for some things, but there's never, ever going to be a perfect time. Ever. You'll never find a perfect time in your life to do anything. You just have to take action. If there's something that God has been telling you over and over again that you need to take action on, it's time for you to fucking take action and stop waiting. Stop waiting. Because the more time that passes, the more you lose. The more money you lose, the more opportunity you lose, the more success you lose. So it is time for you to just take a leap of faith. Create what you want in life. Be more prepared than I was a few times out of this. But take a leap of faith. Believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Trust God is going to be there for you to pick you up when you need it. You'll still be here. I'm still here. I've had some shit happen since I quit my job. Sued once. Lost 2 buildings. Filed for 3 bankruptcies. Repossessed car. House almost lost. Like, I'm still here. I've been through a shitstorm. And I think it's just God preparing me for what's coming. But just believe in yourself. Just take that fucking leap of faith. You'll never regret it. You'll never regret taking that leap of faith and believing in yourself. Stop waiting for things to be perfect. There will never be a perfect time for you to take that leap of faith. I don't care how old you are. It's time for you to take that leap of faith. Now, some of you I know need to take a leap in faith into your fitness. And I've got a free guide just for that. It's the Lean and Cut Men's Playbook, which is going to give you the step-by-step on what you need to become lean and cut in 2023. So all you have to do is go to www.xpafoundations.com/lean and cut men. Again, that's www.xpafoundations.com/lean and cut men. Go get that now. And remember, nothing's going to be perfect, so go chase your mission now. Talk to you tomorrow.